Book of Heaven, Volume 25, October 7th, 1928. The opening of the House of the Divine Will in Corato. Simile of the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem, my entrance into it. The eucharistic lamp and the living lamp of one who does the divine will. The prisoner near the prisoner. Jesus' delight at this company. My Jesus, life of my poor heart, you who know in what bitternesses I find myself, come to my help. Overwhelm the little newborn of your divine volition into your flames, that you may give me again the strength to be able to begin another volume, and your divine fiat may eclipse my miserable will, that it may have life no more, and your divine will may take over, and it itself may write, with the characters of its light, that which you, my love, want me to write, and so that I may make no mistake, act as my prompter. And only if you commit yourself to accepting to be my word, thought, and heartbeat, and to lead my hand with yours, can I make the sacrifice of returning to write what you want. My Jesus, I am here, near the tabernacle of love. From that adored little door which I have the honor to gaze at, I feel your divine fibers, your heart palpitating, emitting flames and rays of endless light at each heartbeat. And in those flames, I hear your moans, your sighs, your incessant supplications, and your repeated sobs. For you want to make your will known, to give its life to all, and I feel myself being consumed with you and repeating what you do. Therefore I pray you, while you gaze at me from within the tabernacle, and I gaze at you from within my bed, to strengthen my weakness, that I may make the sacrifice of continuing to write. Now, in order to be able to say what Jesus told me, I have to make a brief mention that here in Corato, a house has been founded, which was wanted and started by the venerable memory of Father Canonical Annibale Maria di Francia, and which his children, faithful to the will of their founder, have executed and given the name of House of the Divine Will, as the venerable Father wanted. And he wanted me to enter this house, and on the first day of its opening, by their goodness, his sons and daughters, the Reverend Mothers, came to take me and brought me into a room which is such that as the door of this room is opened, I can see the tabernacle, I can listen to Holy Mass, I am just under the gazes of my Jesus in the sacrament. Oh, how happy I feel that from now on, if Jesus wants me to continue to write, I will write always keeping one eye on the tabernacle and the other on the paper I write on. Therefore, I pray you, my love, to assist me and to give me the strength to make the sacrifice that you yourself want. So as this house was about to be opened, one could see people, nuns, little girls, people coming and going, all in motion. I felt all impressed, and my sweet Jesus moving in my interior told me,
My daughter, this group of people whom you see all in motion for the opening of the house of my divine will is symbolic of that group of people when I wanted to be born in Bethlehem, and the shepherds were coming and going to visit me, a little baby. This pointed out to all the certainty of my birth. In the same way, this group of people, all in motion, points out the rebirth of the kingdom of my divine will. Look at how all of heaven echoes my birth, when the angels, celebrating it, announced me to the shepherds, and putting them in motion, made them keep coming to me, and I recognized in them the first fruits of the kingdom of my redemption. So now, in this group of people, of little girls and nuns, I recognize the beginning of the kingdom of my divine will. Oh, how my heart exults and rejoices, and all of heaven makes feast. Just as the angels celebrated my birth, so do they celebrate the beginning of the rebirth of my fiat in the midst of creatures. But look at how my birth was more neglected, more poor. I had not even one priest near me, but only poor shepherds. On the other hand, at the beginning of my volition, there is not only a group of nuns and little girls from out of town, and a people rushing up to celebrate the opening, but there is an archbishop and priests representing my church. This is symbol and announcement to all, that the kingdom of my divine volition will be formed with more magnificence, with greater pomp and splendor than the very kingdom of my redemption. And everyone, kings and princes, bishops and priests and peoples, will know the kingdom of my fiat and will possess it. Therefore, you too celebrate this day in which my sighs and sacrifices and yours, to make my divine will known, see the first dawn and hope for the sun of my divine fiat to soon rise.
Then the evening came of this day, consecrated to the Queen of the Rosary, Queen of victories and of triumphs. And this is another beautiful sign that just as the sovereign lady conquered her Creator and bejeweling him with her chains of love, she drew him from heaven to earth to make him form the kingdom of redemption. So will the sweet and powerful beads of her rosary make her victorious and triumphant again before the divinity, conquering the kingdom of the divine fiat to make it come into the midst of creatures. I had not at all thought that, on that very evening, I would move to the house of divine will near my prisoner Jesus. Only I prayed him not to let me know when this would be, so as not to profane such an act with my human will, so that I might put nothing of my own, but do the divine will in everything. It was 8 o'clock in the evening when, out of the ordinary, the confessor came, who, prayed by the Reverend Mother Superiors, imposed out of obedience that I should surrender and make the superiors content. I resisted quite a bit, because I thought that if the Lord wanted so, it would be in the month of April, a warmer season, and so we would think about it then. But the confessor insisted so much that I had to surrender. So around 9:30 in the evening, I was brought to this house near my prisoner Jesus. And this is the little story of why I find myself in the house of the divine will. Now I resume my speaking. At night, I remained alone with my Jesus in the sacrament. My eyes were fixed on the little door of the tabernacle. It seemed to me that the lamp, with its continuous flickering, was about to go out, but then it would revive again, and my heart gave a jump, fearing that Jesus might remain in the dark. And my always lovable Jesus, moving in my interior, clasped me in his arms and told me,
"My daughter, do not fear, for the lamp will not go out. And if it did go out, I have you, living lamp, a lamp which, with your flickering, more than with the flickering of the Eucharistic lamp, tells me, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, how beautiful is the flickering of your I love you. Your flickering says love to me, and uniting with my will, from two wills we form one alone. Oh, how beautiful is your lamp and the flickering of your I love you. It cannot be compared to the lamp that burns before my tabernacle of love. More so since, my divine will being in you, you form the flickering of your I love you in the center of the sun of my fiat, and I see and hear not a lamp but a sun burning before me. My prisoner, be welcomed. You have come to keep company with your prisoner. We are both in prison, you in bed and I in the tabernacle. It is right that we be close to each other, more so, since one is the purpose that keeps us in prison, the divine will, love, souls. How pleasing will the company of my prisoner be to me. We will feel it together, to prepare the kingdom of the supreme fiat. But know, my daughter, that my love has anticipated you. I was first in putting myself prisoner in this cell, to wait for my prisoner and your sweet company. See then how my love was first in running toward you, how I have loved you, and I love you, for in so many centuries of imprisonment in this tabernacle, I never had a prisoner who would keep me company, who would remain so very close to me. I have always been alone, or at the most in the company of souls who were not prisoners, in whom I did not see my same chains. Now finally, the time has come for me to have a prisoner, to keep her constantly near me, under my sacramental gazes, one whom the chains of my divine will alone keep imprisoned. A sweeter and more pleasing company could not come to me, and so while we are together in prison, we will occupy ourselves with the kingdom of the divine fiat, and will work together and will sacrifice ourselves together to make it known to creatures.